Well, it's a big election. Maharashtra has voted and so has Jharkhand. Well, this is just the last appeal for those who still want to vote. If you have a voting booth around, you may just about be able to make your way there to go and cast your vote. You're not going to be turned out. But the truth is, at least in urban areas, particularly in Mumbai, it already seems pretty dismal. Our focus for the next half an hour is, in fact, just Mumbai, where the plush neighborhoods and dense urban enclaves, quintessential Amchi Mumbai in spirit, have baffled pollsters year after year with a historic urban apathy. Will Mumbai do it any different this time? At least the numbers that have come in till now don't seem to suggest that. Over the last few polls, at least it has managed to scrape through the 50% mark. As of 5 p.m. today, Mumbai recorded a voter turnout of 49%. Well, at least for the first time, the registered voter count in Mumbai has crossed the 1 crore mark. You, of course, had celebrities walking in to cast their votes. The visuals are all up on your screen. But look at these visuals from South Mumbai, the empty chairs in Kolaba polling booth that came around the afternoon. Just tells a very different story. If you could have those visuals up on the screen itself, and we're just trying to contrast, while you have some who've made their way, this is really another reality of Mumbai. And remember, all of this has happened even as there have been all efforts to woo Mumbai cars to vote. 20% democracy discount by restaurants. You have various cinema halls that have gone ahead and offered discounts for voting. Free Tinde on Swiggy. I mean, if you don't vote, that's what you deserve. You may be shaming this vegetable, but nonetheless, that's what at least a kind of a messaging that they are trying to encourage voters. Instamart orders, 9% of polling booths located in high-rise buildings, and then go on to data of, let's just look into data of how really Mumbai has voted, and if we can have that graphic itself. It's over the last 3 elections, if you look at it, we have the data up. It's a little over 50%. It's around 50-ish%. Imagine Mumbai spearheading India's financial growth, as it were, seen as the business capital of the country, but you don't have people who are voting. I'm being joined by my colleague Abhishek Awasthi at this point. Abhishek, a lot that has been spoken about urban apathy. It seems to be at display. Do you have any different thing to report from where you are?
That's what I've been reporting since morning, and we consistently are making that appeal since morning that Mumbaikars should come out in large numbers and vote. But we could see that early enthusiasm with those early walkers or morning joggers who have come to the booth in the morning, and later the strength, or you can say the number of Mumbaikars reaching to the booth drastically decreased. And that's what is visible in the voter turnout till 5 p.m., which is exactly around 49% for the Mumbai city. And this is not going down well because, what we can understand that consistently Mumbaikars have, it shows that it doesn't matter to them. And this is something which is very much important in the festival of democracy. And those visuals are very much disturbing, which came from the Kolaba polling booth, where the election officials are seen waiting, and the entire booth is vacant. None of the people can be seen coming out and to vote. Because it's on a serious note, definitely we need to understand why this is happening. But at the same time, we will also point out how the political discourse has changed. The political landscape of Maharashtra, especially Mumbai, where, the Mumbaikars are witnessing Sena versus Sena and NCP versus NCP. So, this is again an assembly election which Mumbaikars have let us down. But let's see how it pans out on 23rd when the results will come out, and finally we will come to know how it pans out. Yeah.
Abhishek, thank you very much for joining us. We would have loved to have people around you at this point, but I'm sure if people are not turning up to polling stations, you really don't have much of an option at the polling stations. But I'm being joined at this point by Dr. Uday Nirgudkar, who's a senior journalist, as well as Shailesh Gandhi, who's a former CIC. Mr. Shailesh Gandhi, your love affair with Mumbai is well known. No difference this time, Mr. Shailesh Gandhi?
I think voters have this feeling, especially the Mumbaikars, that no matter who comes into power, the same story continues. On TV also, it's the same story, election after election, not just in percentage of votes, in terms of effective governance, in terms of corruption, in terms of scams. It seems the same. It doesn't seem to change. So I can guess that a small percentage certainly feel that there is no point in voting. Even no matter who you vote for, you're going to get the same bad result. And I think citizens and media need to focus on fundamental reasons why this is happening, why we have bad governance, why we don't have better governance. We are not focusing on that. And therefore we continue. And every time there is the same circus, people are not voting. Even if people vote, they feel what can change? What really can change?
Here's the thing, Shailesh Gandhi, if the problem is really with what the messaging is, and listen, if you vote for so-and-so and if you vote for so-and-so, ultimately that's the final thing that's going to, it's going to be the same result when it comes to an ordinary person, but then you have the note option. That's why it was introduced. Give a message through that.
I consistently vote because I'm an old timer. But I think some of the younger people feel this.
No, it's not about you. I'm trying to understand the psyche of Mumbai, and who better than you?
No, I suspect, I'm not too sure. I have not met people who own up and say we didn't vote, etc. But I suspect the younger generation somehow feels that, and I can see some logic in their thinking. When we have discussions, not necessarily at election time, but at other times, some of the younger people do say that, sir, what will change? And I don't have a ready answer. Whether you go for the MBA, whether you go for the...
Dr. Uday Nirgudkar, we may be discussing this at this point, but the truth is that we have been discussing this for a very long time, and it's not just we. In fact, the Election Commission has gone ahead, taken some very, what they have called as drastic measures. They even ensured that the voting would not be along with a long weekend, saying that we just hope that people would not be, in a mood to holiday for a longer time and come and vote. But nothing really has changed, Dr. Uday. What do you see as the big reason behind this?
Yeah, if at 6 p.m. we have figure of 49% voting in Mumbai, then I can tell you that this is the best performance in last couple of decades where even this percentage was not reached, and there is a chance of correction in this number as the time progresses. By 7:30 when the final figures would come in, I'm sure that figure would be about 5-6% higher, and if it is about 56-57%, then it's perhaps the highest in last 2-3 decades. I fail to understand this city when in the hour of the crisis, when it's water deluge, when it is candle march, when it's an appeal to help the COVID, we are number one. But when it comes to voting, we are dismal. You ask for a social media movement, we are up there. I was recently editor of a large newspaper in English in Mumbai, and you ask people to write letters and you will get hundreds and thousands of letters. Where are these people? Where are these people? So if you want to point fingers, 5 years they will point fingers, but if they are asked to press the finger, they won't do that today. 3-4 reasons I can name it. First is that I voted last time, nothing changed.
Do you agree with what Shailesh Gandhi has said?
Two,
that, they see no difference. Their life will not be affected is what they think. Is that how you think?
Yes. Second is that all candidates are same. And third, most important, which today Mr. Gadkari has also pointed, extremely faulty voter list. Extremely faulty voter list. And this is the cause of low voter turnout. And I'm sorry to say that amongst all the metros in the country, Mumbai always stands the lowest. Amongst all the metros in the world,
that's true.
I have figures from London, I have figures from New York, I have figures from Brazil. we are the lowest. And that's something which worries me, that on once we have faith on democracy being exhibited on many occasions in Mumbai, we help each other in the hour of crisis. The city never sleeps. But on the voting day, we find time to take a nap. That's something which is ironical. And this time, Rajiv Kumar, who addressed the press conference declaring the elections, said we are going to, take steps to improve voting. I don't see. They may have taken these steps. Under the able leadership of, I think, Mr. Bhushan Gagrani, state government also initiated number of steps. I don't see any major increase in that. In spite of many celebrity appeals, I'm sure your channel would have every now and then appeal for a bigger voting. What happened? Maybe ideology, less alliances?
Right.
Maybe recent issues of vote for cash and bitcoins? No impetus, and most importantly, politicians have lost contact with the people. So I don't have immediate impetus to vote for to remove a particular person or to get a particular person. People left. People think that they are left on their own.
I think the lack of voting in itself is a very strong messaging, and this seems to be year on year. Shailesh Gandhi, if I can get you in to respond as well to Dr. there. I mean, look at this. When you went to vote today, what were the scenes around? Because we saw some visuals that came in from Kolaba. It was literally deserted. There was nobody there. Officials were caught napping because nobody was coming in.
I live in Santa Cruz, and at the time that I went to vote at about 11, I saw the majority was senior citizens. They have a special life for senior citizens.
I see.
Most of the people were old people. I have a feeling that the younger people are reluctant to vote or do not take the trouble of voting. Senior citizens, there were people who had handicaps, who had physical disabilities. Somebody was coming in a wheelchair. The senior people seem to feel out of a sense of duty, call it what you will. And they don't question what will change. But I think it's a question that we need to answer. And we need to answer saying that, are we addressing the right issues at all? Or are we not addressing the right issues? If we don't address the right issues, we'll get all wrong people. We are not getting the right people.
Dr. Uday, this is so shameful. Dr. Uday, just want to spend a moment on these visuals. It's just so disheartening to be looking at it. You may just, smirk at it, but it's just the travesty of democracy. You had Harsh Goenka, who went or took to the social media to say that, listen, democracy can wait, but the waistline cannot. He obviously was taking a dig at Mumbaikars and particularly those in posh neighborhoods who have very different priorities. But just look at this. This is so sad. You have officials who are lying down on the floor and sleeping. You could be with your heads down on the desk, and that may be a different thing for few hours.
Well, these pictures are very depressing, and but I don't think they are the representative of this time voting. I have some still hope that by 7:30, when the final figures would come in, please note, for last 5 elections, Mumbai never touched 50%. Mumbai suburbs did, but Mumbai city never touched 50%. This time, with 49% recorded just now, we could be heading to about 56, 57, 58%, which would be a decent rise in what it was. One more reason I would like to cite is the migratory labor. Although they are registered as voter over here, there is no emotional connect for the long-term well-being of the society. So the voting percentage amongst the migration labor is very less. Some years back, there was a wonderful study conducted on low voter turnout in Mumbai by Gokhale Institute of Economics and Politics from Pune. And I have the copy of that with me, which has number of reasons cited, and one of the reasons suggested in that was another mindset of luxury over duty. When it comes to luxury, we are number one. But when it comes to fulfilling the civic duty, that's where we are not coming out clearly. Secondly, the apathy is common amongst the rich people, those who are settled over here. And apathy amongst the migratory labor is also evident over there. We are not emotionally connected with this city. But most importantly, I again repeat, this is not the final picture. Let's wait till 7:30, and I hope and I pray that the God of democracy will once smile on Mumbai and save our face by giving a decent figure of 58 to 60%. Imagine 62 assembly seats last time were less than the state average, and out of those 62 seats, about 15 to 20 were from Mumbai. That is shameful even then.
Right.
And even now, if it's repeated, it's shameful because this time, I think celebrities, media, social media, election commission, state government, hotels, Swiggy, you name, everybody tried their best. But in spite of that,
That's true, Doctor, there. That's true.
This is the pathetic performance. Then I don't know what to do.
I think, I mean, it's hard to even interpret this. There's studies which has been done over this. But remember, we are literally looking at the battle for Maharashtra, and I think both of you, Dr. Uday as well as Shailesh Gandhi, would agree about this. We literally are looking at the battle for Maharashtra as a high-stakes, high-prestige battle. A lot is at stake, obviously, for winning Maharashtra. A lot of that also gets reflected in the parliament as well. So nonetheless, the truth remains that even as Dr. Uday at least seems to be a little optimist in terms of the numbers increasing, we must remember it's for the first time that the registered voters really crossed a 1 crore mark in Mumbai itself. So that's also going to be something interesting to see in terms of the voter percentage. But Dr. Uday, as well as Shailesh Gandhi, thank you very much for your time. I just hope finally when the numbers come out, there'll be some hope, some hope to look forward to. Thank you very much, both of you.
Thank you.
Well, moving on, amid the Maharashtra elections, NCP SP